Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of Jones and for Wins. My name is Craig Havens. Joining me, as always, is Jonathan Almanzar. Today we're
Hello,
going to talk.
friends.
Jonathan's all excited today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Cowboys facing the Buccaneers in the wild card game. We'll go over all of the games coming up. We're going to talk about our picks at the beginning of the season on who was going to make the playoffs and who was going to
Ooh,
be
yeah.
division versus wild card, and then we'll go over the games that are coming up and well, some general conversation. Jonathan, we talked yesterday. You were pretty happy about this where we're at right now, and I've I've calmed down some. I feel a little better. So
Good, good.
I'm not going to give you credit for talking me off the ledge, but that wasn't the case. But I do feel better anyways. I hate going into the playoffs that way, but right now I feel better about where we're at.
Good,
So
good.
where are you at? What are you thinking?
I feel like we have a good chance to win at least one playoff game. Then we'll see what breaks from there, where we're at. Could be San Francisco, could be the Eagles.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll get into that too. I'll tell you. So, if you believe in patterns, right? So, if you believe in patterns,
I mean, patterns exist, right?
right?
Yeah, so I believe in them.
But are
Like,
they
I mean,
always continuous, or is there just a break in a pattern that randomly
I don't
ruins
know.
our
I
hopes and
remember.
dreams?
Do you think they still sell patterns at like? I remember when I was a kid, my mom would always be looking for like dress patterns to make for my sister and like
Yeah. Why?
and we would go places. I feel like Walmart even had like a whole pattern counter of like all these little faux paper pattern things that you would buy. Isn't that weird?
That is kind of weird, but I do remember that now. I
and now,
I've never
and
used a pattern to
me,
create anything. And why do women make dresses but nobody makes shorts?
oh
But
no, or shoes.
or shoes. Yeah, that's true.
So, but like patterns and then all the fabric, like I feel like every department store used to have a whole fabric section.
You're a big shoe guy, by the way, and this just came in because you said shoes. I know you're a big shoe guy. That is what the hell is that? It looks like a shark.
It's a Yeezy runner.
Okay, so I don't know why I decided to take a drink while I was in the middle of a sentence, but you, I was looking up something. I don't remember what I was looking up. I was looking up sneakers, different sneakers that I wanted to get, and your name came up.
What?
Your name
Where?
came up as
Online?
a shoe designer. So I needed to find
Really?
out, is this a thing? Did you design a sneaker? It was actually kind of a cool shoe too.
I did
I
on an app one time.
I actually looked and I'm like, this looks like something Jonathan would create. So I'm gonna have to we'll talk about that off air. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking and there was your name with a shoe design. And I was like,
Was it a
huh,
chicken cone shoe? Because I made a
no,
chicken cone.
it was not a what is chicken cone exactly?
Chicken cone is a fast food restaurant that serves chicken fries and chicks.
Ah,
It's hashtag so clucking good.
well look at that. Do you guys give a fork or no?
No, no,
Okay,
no forks given.
excellent. All right, so back to the Cowboys game. If you believe in patterns, which
Yes, I
you
do
do
believe. I've
believe they
seen them. I've
exist.
seen them with my own eyes. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Don't know why they're there, but they're there.
By pattern, this whole thing is over and everyone can go home. Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Why? Because they win 5 games in a row after every loss or something?
No,
Why?
they have an odd pattern. They lost one to start, right? They lost to Tampa Bay.
Right?
Following that, they won 4 games.
Okay.
Then they lost one. After
Okay.
that, they won 2 games.
Okay.
Then then they lost one. They lost, or they won four after that, lost one, won two, lost one, and now we're on the win four again.
Nice.
So lose one, win four, lose one, win two, lose one, win four, lose one, win two, lose one,
Lose
and we
one,
are on
four.
win four, which would put us right up to the end of the season with a Super Bowl victory. So I'm feeling super confident. We can't
Yeah, me too.
lose at this
I
point.
Yeah, yeah. How much equity do you have in your house?
Enough to,
Could we pull some out
yeah,
and
absolutely. Jen
place,
won't mind.
place a
Just
little
don't tell
bet?
her. Yeah, are you gonna pull out a chicken cone or anything, or no?
I'll pull some equity. We'll put it together.
Okay. All right. Cool.
See what we can do.
This is perfect. So I don't know what the current odds are, but I'm in. I'm in 100%.
It's got to be like minimum like 14-1, right? We've got to get at least
I would
14.
assume so. Yeah. I mean, we're down low, so all right. We went over scores yesterday, but I thought that was an interesting. It is kind of a
Yeah.
weird pattern there. So we went over scores yesterday. I had said 35-27. You said 42-13. You sticking with that?
Yeah.
All right.
No change.
I think I'm going to stick with mine as well.
Shocking.
I've never changed, did I?
I know.
Might have changed
No.
once.
You're not very malleable.
I'm not hedgy.
You know.
All right. So we talked yesterday a little bit about power rankings. You wanted to call them. I said I didn't think we needed to because we're kind of in the playoffs. But I guess that is where it matters most, right? I mean, that's what you're doing it for. So let's go with power rankings. Have you thought about it? You got some power rankings for me? You want me to go first? You want to go first? You tell me.
You can go first. You can go first.
All right. My first in the power rankings is the 49ers. I think they've got a solid defense. They've been looking good. I think they're due for a loss, but they're not losing, so I'm going with the 49ers. Followed by the Chiefs, your Kansas City Chiefs, followed by the Bengals. Those are my top three teams going into the playoffs right now.
No
They
Eagles.
will change next week. I don't think the Eagles have gone in strong. Again, they lost two, followed by a victory
Are you
over
getting
the
into
Giants.
a pattern here
Right.
again?
No.
No.
They lost two, followed by a victory over a Giants team that wasn't playing for anything and didn't put anybody into play.
Right.
Like they brought up their quarterback from the practice squad. So, no, I don't think the Eagles are. I mean, wasn't that his first start? He's been in the league a while. I think he was drafted by the Giants, then got traded again. And I think this year he got signed to the practice squad. Can't remember his name, but I can remember his history.
What about so no Eagles? What about no Bills for you? That's pretty shocking.
You keep thinking that I'm this big Bills fan.
I mean, that's where you grew up. You grew up there.
I didn't grow up there. I went to school up there. I went to school there during the 4 years they fell.
Lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah, but
I've really more been. If I was to pick a team in that division or even that conference, it'd be the Dolphins. You know that. I have their helmet. I've got the Cowboys helmet. I got stuff all around.
yeah.
So that's yeah.
My three are in particular order.
I'm going to go with Kansas City as your number one.
Not in no particular order, in particular order, because it's a power ranking.
Okay, well, it needs to be in a particular order.
I know, it's the power rankings.
Right.
So I'm going to take the number one seed, Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. They've done nothing to dissuade
you're number three. Your number two is where I'm confused.
What do you think my number three is?
So I'm going to say your number three is the Jaguars. And your number two, your number two is going to be a hard one for me. I'm going to go with your number two is going to be not the Seahawks, but the 49ers. So I'm going to say you're going Kansas City 49ers and then Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, in your mind right now, you're changing everything up. You're like, I'm not letting him win this. There's no way. So I should have had you write it down and show me, but go ahead.
Number two, San Francisco 49ers.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean, I debated back and forth between them and my number three team. But in the end, San Francisco's won 10 games in a row?
Yep. And the Jaguars have won just two.
So I'm going to.
1, 2.
No, they've won
They won more. Yeah, they won, yeah.
But I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals as number three.
Okay. All right. Because they got cheated?
You don't agree with that?
No, I totally agree with it. But you've always been the one, whenever I say Cincinnati Bengals, you laugh at me.
Well, I mean, I've had them in there before, but you were putting them in there when they didn't even have Chase on their team and all kinds of. They're going through all kinds of problems. You had them there week 3 when they were 1-3, and so yeah, of course I don't agree at that point.
I had them in there at week 3. Okay.
Go back to the tape.
But I'm gonna go right now. No, go ahead.
We don't have that tape probably, but
I do someplace. It's on my hard drive.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna go Bengals number 3.
All right. So I was 2 out of 3. 3. That's
Hey,
not bad.
just for fun, should we rank them all? 1 to 14?
Yeah, we can do that. So, all right. So, where do you think you wanna rank them together, or you wanna? I mean, it's tough for
I'll
you and
just
I to
start.
agree on anything. So,
I'll just start. So we have the same top 3, right?
well, I went instead of Bengals, I went.
They don't have to be in the same order, but we have the same top 3, correct?
Yeah.
The same top 3 teams. So then let's do our next 3.
All right. So, boom, boom, boom. All right. So, I guess I would go as my next 3. I would go Bills. Then I would go.
I know my next 3. Do you want me
I'd
to tell
go
you my next?
Bills, Cowboys, and then I would go Chargers.
Okay. I would go Bills, Cowboys, Jaguars.
Okay.
So that's close.
Yeah. And Jaguars, I would actually, I would, Jaguars and Chargers would be kind of intermixed. I'm going to go with Jaguars in the next tier. So it'd
Okay.
be
So let's go to the
Jaguars.
next 3.
Yep. Then it would be Jaguars, Giants, Vikings.
I would go Jaguars, Eagles,
Oh, I forgot
Giants.
about the Eagles.
Jaguar,
I
Eagles,
will
Giants.
actually move my Vikings down 1 to put the Eagles there. I actually forgot about them. They're
All right. So
good.
no, actually mine are, Chargers. And so then the last remaining, the worst teams in it. Who are the 3 worst teams?
Ravens, and Bucs.
In Seattle. Seattle's
in
pretty
Seattle. So we got
4.
Yeah.
Probably 4. Yeah.
Yep.
5, Dolphins. Dolphins have to be in there too.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Dolphins
pretty terrible.
would be above. I think it would be Dolphins, Bucs, and then the bottom one would be no. I'm gonna say
I think the
Seattle's
worst
above the Bucs.
I think
So
the
Dolphins,
Tampa Bay
Seattle,
and Seattle
Bucs.
are the worst 2. I think
Yep.
Tampa Bay and Seattle are the worst 2.
Yep.
And then I think yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I agree
That
with
was
you.
fun.
It was something
It means nothing.
we didn't even plan, but I'm sure that's the way it'll all lay out in the end. We kind of almost agreed. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, let's talk playoffs from our launch podcast, which now I can just make up numbers because I'm the only one that has our launch podcast.
Playoffs? Okay.
Huh? Yeah, playoffs.
No.
I want to talk playoffs.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, in the AFC, you had as division leaders the Bills, the Bengals, the Colts, and the Chiefs. Really good.
3 for 4.
I was impressed. 3 out of 4. Yep.
Colts, terrible pick. Colts, terrible pick, and I apologize.
That's okay. It happens. It happens. I had the Bills, Bengals, Titans, Raiders. And the Raiders were a terrible pick. And the Titans were right up to the last second. So, I mean, that was...
Almost.
Yep, and almost does mean nothing. So,
right.
in that division, the division leaders I lost. NFC, you've got Cowboys, Minnesota, Tampa, Rams. Again, 3 for 4.
2 for 2.
No, wait. Oh, yeah, Cowboys are out. Yeah. I had Cowboys, Green Bay, Bucs, Rams. It's painful for me.
You got 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Then in wild card, on the AFC, you had the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Chargers.
2 out of 3.
Yep. I had the Chiefs, Chargers, and Pats.
So 1.
Yep. You had on the NFC Green Bay, San Fran, and Panthers.
0.
San Fran. Well, yeah, you got 0 because San Fran's, yeah. I had the Eagles, Cardinals, and the Panthers.
0.
Yep. So overall, of all the teams, out of the 14 possible teams in the playoffs, you got 9 out of the 14. I got 8 out of the 14.
Okay. So I missed 5. So 3 in one division and 2 in the other?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I missed the Eagles?
No, being in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I didn't call the Eagles being in the playoffs. So I missed the Eagles being in the playoffs.
Yes, you did. Yep, I'm sorry.
I missed the Seahawks being in the playoffs. And I missed the Giants being in the playoffs.
Nobody saw the last 2 in the playoffs.
No. And on the other side, I missed.
Wait, you also missed the Panthers being in the playoffs.
No.
Five.
Panthers aren't in the playoffs. Yeah, but three in the NFC and 2 in the AFC.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep.
I missed out on
the Panthers.
The Jaguars. I missed out on the Jaguars being in the playoffs, and I missed out on who else? Ravens.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it was it was.
Well,
I think we did better than we did last year, actually.
Yes, and I can feel my bias coming through on those picks.
I am sure you can.
With Ravens, Eagles, and Giants, all three missing the playoffs, there's some bias.
So, what would you have said if at the beginning of the season I said Seahawks and Giants are going to be in the playoffs?
No way. That's what I would have
laughed me out of this.
There's no way.
I couldn't have said it with a straight face, but here we are.
I would have been like, what are they competing for, the first pick? That's right. What I would have.
Which, again, we should have a first pick going to the Texans, but happily, Lovie Smith said.
And who did we pick as our worst teams? I picked the Falcons, and you picked the Browns?
Yep.
And which one ended up with the worst record?
That's a good question. I'm going to have to pull that up.
You're really good. I don't think you've ever lost the bad.
I'm good at picking bad teams.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
Yeah, it's what I do for a living. I pick bad teams.
I've been making pizza for years. Now I make them playable. They pick the toppings.
Go ahead. You just keep talking about stuff, and I'll find it. So the Browns were 7-10, and Atlanta was 7-10.
7-10 and 7-10. So, we tied this time.
Except
did they play each other?
Except for one thing, Atlanta beat the Browns. Yeah. So once again, the hammer is yours.
I had that hammer from. I mean, we've done this 5 years now.
Yeah.
And I've never lost the hammer.
No.
And the funny thing was, you hated the Dolphins when you started this, and you had a Dolphins hammer. And then we started this, and you talked about how the Dolphins are your second favorite team, which turns out to be the Cowboys is your second favorite team, and the Kansas City Chiefs are your favorite.
Not true.
Oh, you know it's true. So, all right, let's see. Coming up this weekend, we got some good games. We've got the Seahawks at the 49ers.
Terrible game.
Right. I'm saying some good. I didn't say all good games. We've got the Chargers at the Jaguars.
Good game.
We've got the Dolphins at the Bills.
Terrible game.
Yep. We've got the Giants at the Vikings.
Good game.
Good game. We've got the Ravens at the Bengals. Terrible game.
Boring game.
Yep. We've got the Cowboys at the Buccaneers.
Great game.
All right. So, we're going to pick them.
All right.
We can give scores if you want.
I don't.
You don't want to? I think that's because I'm not going to check them afterwards. But we are going to go with the over-under on them.
The over-under or the spread?
Oh, we're going to go with the over-under. So we're going to pick the team that's going to win, and we're going to decide whether the points are good, whether we're going to be over or under on points.
Gotcha.
All right.
I'm locked in.
Seahawks, 7th seed, at the 49ers, 2nd seed. This one's easy.
I'm going to say San Francisco.
Me too. The spread is 42.5. I'm going.
The over-under is 42.5?
Yeah, but I'm going under. Only because how are the Seahawks going to score now? I mean, it could be 45-0.
Well, listen, the Cardinals put up some. I'm going over. The Cardinals put up some points on these 49ers with who was their quarterback?
I don't know who the Cardinals quarterback was. It was Yeah.
So I think the score is going to be like 34-14. So that makes it 48. So yeah, I'm going to go over.
Okay. All right. So Chargers, Jaguars. Chargers the 5 seed going to Jaguars the 4 seed.
I'm going to pick the Jaguars.
The Chargers. Okay.
I know. And all like mainstream media is in love with the Chargers and I'm never in love with
the Chargers.
But why are they? Why every year everybody picks them to go to the Super Bowl? They're everybody's Super Bowl pick for like Since
They're
Philip Rivers was there.
yeah, since before then. They always disappoint.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick them to lose.
All right.
And what's
Jaguars
the
are
spread?
hot, so I mean, there's
What's the
no
over-under?
the over under on that is 47.5, and I am going to take the over.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'll take the over.
The number 7
Wait,
Dolphins.
that
Yes.
seems crazy to me. It's 47.5. That means a 27-24 game, you win.
That's so. As I sit there and I looked at these, I mean, one of the games is 41.5. They're all 0.5.
That's got to be the
The
Bengals
highest one
Ravens.
it is, yes. And the highest one is 48.5.
And that's got to be, let me think who that is. That is the Cowboys, Bucs.
No.
That is,
Think about this. You'll get it. It's
well, I only have two more to guess. It's either
That's true.
the Bills or the Giants Vikings. So I'll go Giants Vikings.
Yeah. Both of them can give up points. All right. So Dolphins at Bills.
I'm going to say Bills.
Okay. I picked Bills as well. And the
Of course you did.
over-under is 43.5.
That was the most obvious. You picking the Bills, that was written in stone at the beginning of the season.
That's because
So
you know me.
the
I'm
Bills.
such a big Bills fan.
You have them in the Super Bowl.
No, I do, don't I?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going with the. I'm doing the over.
What's their point?
43.5. This is one that could be an under
I'm going
because
to
the
say
Dolphins have not been able to score.
43.5. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say the game's going to be 28-14. So I'm going to go under.
Yeah, this is one that could easily hit the under.
Yeah.
So, Giants Vikings. I've got the Giants, the 6 seed going to the 3 seed. I've got the Giants.
I'll take the Vikings.
You're going to take the Vikings, and I'm taking the over.
I'm going to take the under.
How about that? That's two differences on the over.
Can you believe that I'm taking the Vikings? I mean, there was no comment from
I wasn't even going to say anything. It's weird because you hate the Vikings.
It's the two biggest frauds in the NFL playing each other. I mean, they're both frauds. And one's a bigger fraud than the other, I think.
You have not thought. I mean, you just yesterday you went off on the Vikings being such a horrible team.
They are. They're a fraud.
But you didn't go off on the Giants being a horrible team.
Because nobody's pumping the Giants up. Nobody's like, oh, the Giants this, the Giants that. They're not a 3 seed. They're a 6 seed. You know, like they lucked into the playoffs. People think of it's a cute story, which that's about all that it is. It's a ugly cute story. It's like a baby that's super ugly, but the parents think it's cute. That's the Giants to me. They're like one of those babies that you don't know how to react, and you're just like, oh yeah, you had it.
It's the ugly baby. It's the Seinfeld. They're the Seinfeld baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got you. Cowboys, number 5 seed, are going to the Bucs on Monday Night Football.
Cowboys.
I know that. That one I'm assuming you've got them going to the Super Bowl. 45.5.
Well, I think I picked the score like 42-14 or something, right?
Something
So
like that. I think
it doesn't matter.
It's over.
Over.
Yeah. You picked 42-13. So yeah. Yeah, you got
over.
the Cowboys scoring just about that score. So you had brought up the other day. You brought up to me that the Cowboys are Monday night team and everyone's having an issue. Go ahead.
Did we do the Bengals Ravens?
We did not. I did. I mean, I picked the Bengals.
Me
so
too.
The number 6 is going to the number 3. You are taking them. And the over-under is 41.5, and I'm going to take the under.
Me too.
I expected that was going to be a difference. All right. So we've got two games in which we differ.
I think if it was 34.5, I would take the under.
I know. 12.5. I'm going to go with the under. So, all right. First of all, I do want to say that I think of the games played this weekend, having the Ravens at Bengals as the Sunday night game is a horrible call by the NFL. They totally should have made that the Giants game.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the games, we went through them. There's several of them that are good, and several that are just going to be that. I'm going to fall asleep during that Ravens Bengals game.
Yeah.
Mid first quarter, when the Bengals are already up by
Maybe
17.
Maybe they're banking on Lamar Jackson being in the game. Won't make it any more interesting other than hearing announcers talk about how he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
What about all these guys wanting running quarterbacks, and then now all of a sudden we're seeing Justin Fields missing games, Lamar Jackson missing games. What's the kid from the Cardinals?
Yeah, you and I have talked about that over and over again.
The Cardinals guy missing games?
You love him, the little guy. You do like him a lot. I know you do.
Kyler Murray?
Yeah, Kyler Murray. So you and I have talked about that a lot, and I've always said my boys get so mad at me because I don't like running quarterbacks. But I don't like running quarterbacks because they get injured. You have a running back. You've got multiple running backs.
Right. And Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen is in trouble in the next couple of years. He's not going to have a long career, I don't think.
I can't see it either. He's got this elbow issue that's got to be, at some point, it's got to be dealt with.
Yeah. And they got to quit running him.
Yeah, but they won't. No. So I don't know. I mean, I'd rather go Wildcat than stick my quarterback out there and make him run.
Me too.
It's not a. I don't know. I give up on that stuff. I mean, but again, I'm still waiting for the call from any team in the NFL to put me as a GM. Nobody has yet, so I guess I'll wait. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, two of these games, more than two. How many of these games? 49ers are on their third string quarterback. The Dolphins are on their third string quarterback.
The Ravens will probably be playing a second string quarterback.
Right, at least their second string. So that's that. So you automatically have three teams that are, two of them are on third string.
And Daniel Jones is hurt a lot too, and he's a running quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, you were saying something. You were chastising me about something I said about the Cowboys.
No, I was not chastising you. I was giving you credit for it. Well, not credit, but you had brought up to me. You asked me what I thought about the Cowboys being played on a Monday night, and if I thought that was a bad thing. I totally do not see that as a bad thing, and I don't understand why people are getting so fired up about it. Because one, if your team is playing this week on Saturday, there's really not much of a difference. Two, you've got the Cowboys. We'll play Monday, they'll play the next Sunday. I mean, that's a typical week in the NFL. But, again, somebody's going to be going from Sunday to Saturday this coming week. It won't be the Cowboys. So why is that? Why is it such a big deal?
Well, the only thing, who plays on Saturday this week?
Saturday this week is the Seahawks and 49ers, the Chargers and the Jaguars.
So this would be my complaint. If the Giants knock off the Vikings.
Yep.
They'll play the Eagles Saturday, and the Cowboys will play San Francisco Sunday. San Francisco will have 2 extra days of rest over the Cowboys.
True.
I feel like they should have made all NFC teams be Sunday, and if you have an NFC game Monday night, then Sunday should be all NFC, and Saturday should be all AFC. Because
and I don't know how they're going to lay that out, but I'm
because you're giving them having to play on short rest, 2 days shorter than the other team possibly.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Seahawks will probably take the 49ers, though. We're pretty sure of that. So that's
done. Well, then that answers it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you got, man. I don't see a pick in this thing where there's really a whole lot of, like, a big underdog coming from behind. I can't see the Ravens coming back and winning this game. I don't see the Dolphins are playing their third string quarterback. They're not going to take out the Bills. Seahawks aren't going to take out the 49ers. There's really no.
I can't stand the Ravens, and I do think the Bengals are good. Bengals didn't look that great against the Ravens, and the Ravens were on their third string quarterback.
Yeah.
Sunday. And so if they just improve from third string to second string, I don't know, man. That could be a little nervousness.
Bengals are in your power rankings. Mine too.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if I was to see an underdog win, they would be it. The Cowboys would be it.
Oh, I can see smaller underdogs. I mean, I can definitely see that.
The
But
Chargers could beat the Jags.
I could see the Giants beating the Vikings.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I see the Ravens beating the Bengals. Not this year. Not the way. The Ravens haven't been playing well.
Yeah.
But all right, I could be. I mean, I've been wrong, and not for nothing.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in this game. Thanks for throwing that tidbit in there. So let's talk a little bit about the Seeing Stars.
Okay.
You got one for us? Need me to go
Sure.
first, or
Go for it. Go first.
all right? My thoughts on this one. I foresee in this game a fan is going to interfere with this game somehow. It can be a fan running out on the field and streaking. By the way, I'm going to this game. No. It could be a fan running out on the field streaking. It could be a giant fight in the stands that causes a disruption in the game. What's that?
I said, wow.
It could be someone throwing something on the field at a player, at the team. It could be an interaction between a fan and the sideline, a player on the sideline or the entire sideline. But I foresee a fan doing something to disrupt this game for momentarily. It could be just talking with the booth up, the whoever's doing the game, Troy and what's his name, Joe Buck. But I won't be watching that one, so I won't be able to verify that. So, because I think,
what are you going to be watching?
Isn't Peyton Manning and Eli doing this one too? I know it's on ESPN too. So if they're doing it, which I can't imagine ESPN not letting them do this game. So that's what I'll be watching.
Okay.
And then obviously at the game, they're watching it on their TVs and whatever, if it's a studio or their house or whatever. But I foresee that happening. That is my Seeing Stars projection. I went outside of the field, out into the stand base, and I've got somebody interrupting this game.
Okay. Here's my Seeing Stars prediction. The last time the Cowboys won a playoff road game, I want to honor that. So I'm going to say Dak has an 8-yard touchdown run. An 88-yard touchdown pass. And a 22-yard touchdown pass.
All right.
Do you know why those numbers? I chose those numbers, Craig.
Let's see. The 8-yard TD run would be for Troy Aikman. The 88-yard TD would be for Michael Irvin, and the 22-yard TD pass would be for Emmitt Smith.
Correct. Good job.
See, I'm all right sometimes.
Yep. And the 94-yard punt return for a touchdown is for who?
Ooh, that's a good one because that could be multiple players.
That's
going to be for Randall Gregory. No, that. The 94-yard one is for, his name's right on the tip of my tongue. Jeff Coat.
Nope, the guy that was in charge.
The guy that was in charge.
Of our days and our nights. Da, da,
Charles Haley, yeah. I always loved Charles Haley.
But no, I don't pick a 94-yard punt return.
When he came to the Cowboys, it could be a 94-yard. It's not gonna be a pick six or a. Yeah, but when he came to the Cowboys, he was in the locker room and all the players wanted to see his ring that he got in San Francisco, and he told them no. And he said, "You want to see a ring? Let's go get one here."
Nice.
Like that was good. I like that.
That's the opposite of what I bet Mike McCarthy's like. I bet he's like, guys, look at this ring
right.
all the time. I bet he's flashing that ring all the time.
He's laying down on his massage table. Guys, check out this ring.
Yeah.
There,
You want one of these? I can get you there.
So it should be a good game. You got any plans for the game?
No, I'm actually going to be delayed in seeing it. So don't text me anything before the end of the first half.
All right. You should get a TV out in that pool area there.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
I would, that's where I'd spend all my time. I'd have like multiple TVs up there. I'd be watching the game from there.
Yeah, this
That
is
would be
not
my
where
thing.
my pool is not the reason I'm going to be delayed in seeing the game.
I figured, I know that.
I'm not having a big pool party.
Hey, were you cooking during the Cowboys game last weekend? Your wife posted on social media about her husband making her dinner, and that was during the Cowboys game.
I cooked dinner after the Cowboys game.
Oh, it was after.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought maybe it was during.
I did some dry brine steaks.
Oh,
they were really good. Yeah. Huh. So they were very good. They were better than the game.
Well, you could have cooked some wieners, and they would have been better than the game.
I felt like that game dry brining me.
It was so painful.
Yeah.
Right,
you know what?
Yeah.
I think I was cooking during the fourth quarter, and I was watching on my iPad outside while I was grilling.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I would set up TVs out there so you can do all those things, hang out, jump in the pool if you want to.
I've said this so many times. Oh, I have a TV. Never mind.
Do you need a TV? Because I got like 50 of them extra just sitting around the house that are just not either working or...
No, I just picked up 3 the other day, and I gave 2 away, and so I have this other one that's sitting over there. I just remembered that. Like, I could hook that up right where that stupid mirror is.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Make it happen.
You said something a few minutes ago about, like, no one's called you to be a GM, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you were surprised by that, right?
I want to dig into that just a little bit. If you could be a GM of any team
see, I like this.
NFL, except the Cowboys.
Be a topic that I was going to do after the season, but I like this. All right.
Except the Cowboys, who would you want to be the GM of?
Huh. So I like the idea of Arizona.
Because you want to live there, or?
Oh, I mean, I definitely want to live there.
Okay,
but
one more
caveat. It's not about living.
You can't move there. You can't live there.
Okay,
you have to be the GM from your home.
Because that's what most teams are looking for. A work from home general
COVID
manager.
COVID protocols come into play again next year.
So this will be my meeting area.
Yes.
So I'll have to change the colors on the walls and everything. All right. If I'm going to be a GM of a team, I do like Arizona. Although they're losing talent more than they're gaining talent. So I guess what I'd have to go with, man, that's a good question. Dolphins don't have a first-round pick. That would be painful. So I guess I want to talk about somebody who's got 2 or more, which would be Giants have 2 or more, right? Don't the Giants have a couple picks?
Detroit has a bunch of picks.
Oh, Detroit would be fun. And I don't want to live there.
Seattle has a lot of picks from the Broncos.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but I think I'd want to go. I might go Giants. I might go Giants because I think there's talent there that, I mean, you've got a good running back. You've got some picks where you can get yourself a quarterback. Keep the guy you've got while this guy develops a little bit, although you don't want to develop under him. But I think there's talent there that you can use. You've got a decent defense. I think I'd go Giants.
So would you rather go to a team that had like already a good young quarterback, established quarterback, or would you want to pick your quarterback? They had a high draft pick.
I'm going to be honest with myself and you on this one. I have picked many, many good quarterbacks in my time, even when I coached. And when I coached, I didn't do terrible. But in this situation, when I look at a quarterback for the NFL, I'm oftentimes wrong. So I'm going to say, if I got a young one that's already there, I would rather work around that guy, get him some weapons to work with, work on front line to get him some time in the pocket and defense.
It's interesting to me that you went NFC East with the Giants because I would also go NFC East if I could be the GM somewhere, and I would go with the Washington Redskins for a couple of reasons.
Would you change the name?
No, I don't have, the GM doesn't have that power. But here are my reasons. One,
But you're going with the Redskins.
that owner's not going to say anything. That he's like,
Well, that's true. Well, you're
he's
getting a new owner, which is why I wouldn't go there.
and two, 3 reasons. One, he doesn't say anything. Two, the owner is also the mascot. Remember, we uncovered
Yes,
that
yeah,
recently.
that's true. Oh, wow.
And the third reason is I feel like that's a fan base that if you built a winner, they would really, really love you for it.
I agree with you there. The
They have
fear
some
factor and the X factor in that situation is you don't know who's going to buy the team.
Maybe I'd handpick them.
You think the GM is allowed to pick the owner?
I think I could put together that kind of power in a short period of time.
You're going to crowdfund an owner for the team?
No. I would create a power dynamic which put me in charge of selecting the new owner.
And who's going to give you that power to make that power dynamic to give you the power?
2 people, the mascot, and also the second would be
the owner,
Goodell.
Okay, I gotcha. No, I like that. That is interesting. So we would actually be facing each other twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember when Dan Snyder bought the team, his only goal was to beat the Cowboys. So that would be my goal right now, would be to beat the Commanders every single time we faced them because of you.
I would ruin that visitor locker room when you came.
I know you would.
I would destroy that thing. I would do some terrible, terrible things to that locker room for you.
Well, don't worry. I would leave it in just as bad a shape. I would make sure the toilets would be overflowing. Not with
what toilets?
joy.
What toilets? I'm pulling those out first thing.
No, we'd bring them in, our own. We just wouldn't connect them. That's why they'd be overflowing.
That's the first thing I'd do. I'd screw down all the lids.
That wouldn't stop us. That would not stop us. So no, I think that would be where I'd go. I do. So interesting. So let me ask you this: what would you develop? What would be your primary focus when you went there? Would it be offense or defense?
Offensive line.
Okay.
100%. That would be my only focus.
All right.
You?
I named mine. I did that. I wanted to get a good offensive line in there for him. I wanted to get him some weapons. So,
yeah, I think we don't have to dwell on this.
Too many people don't focus on an offensive line, and it's funny because that does make or break a team. I truly believe it helps the quarterback develop. It helps the quarterback, period. So, but oh well. All right. So we've got these games coming up, and I'm good. We've got some exciting things coming up too, right? We've got a new podcast coming up here soon enough. On Formula One. It will also be 4 wins. We'll be racing 4 wins. And
I was going to ask you, are we calling it racing for wins or driving for wins? Racing for wins.
And we've got the other one that's coming up to talk to people about football, learning about football, particularly people who have not watched football before. We're going to talk the basics of football and
specifically Europeans, right? We're going to put the narrow
Germany for a little bit.
Because I think Europeans
I can speak a little bit of German. You can handle the Spanish.
Right.
We'll work something out. We'll do some maybe Italian sub,
Yeah. Because we're both very European-ish.
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel like the European palate would appreciate us very much.
I definitely agree. I think they'll totally get us over there. Yeah. Europeans will be like, what are we learning for wins? Is that what we're going with?
Learning for wins.
I think we should put a couple out there and have our fan base, who is so good at commenting below, tell us what they think, and the winning one gets it. So we got learning for wins, and what was the other one? You had another name that you would come up with.
Studying for wins. I don't know. I hate that.
Yeah, learning or studying for wins.
Watching for wins.
And if somebody's got something better for a podcast to teach about American
schooling for wins.
Schooling for wins. Drooling for wins.
Drooling for wins.
Maybe we'll go with a German term.
Smoking for wins.
All right. We're in. So, anyways, keep your eyes open for that stuff. Otherwise, again, my name is Craig, Jonathan. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day. If you've got some scores that you want to talk about, put them on the bottom, what you think the score is going to be, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day.